So I've been noticing this tendency or pattern in human beings and contemporary human beings. And I see it myself and my clients and, people at work. And so what it is I think there's this tendency to evaluate ourselves based on how other people respond to us. Okay, and when this really becomes critical is when we're being honest, when we're speaking our truth, okay, and we're being vulnerable and we have this kind of new view of something. And because we're vulnerable, I think we offer it and then we look into people's eyes and their facial expressions to see if they agree or if they still like us even, or if they think our idea is good or not, And now, so here's the challenge. Often our best and most innovative and most powerful ideas or truths or expressions of our authentic selves are the most radical. They're the most out of the box. And so people, and it's not their fault, right? When they're hearing it for the first time, it seems it might feel radical or threatening to them. Okay, because you're speaking your truth and all of it, and you've been sitting with it for a while, right? And then you come up with it and you're used to it. They're not used to it. They're like, so you have this radical truth, you speak this thing and you're like, I think this. And they're hearing it and it's like, it's often out of their comfort zone is what I've been noticing. And then because of that, they give this whatever look, I'm trying to do a weird look here, whatever look in their eyes, and they're like, I don't know, and they scrunch up their face, and those too, right? If they're your friends, what their I don't know, scrunch up their face look is, right? I mean, and it may not even be conscious, but and then so you look, they do this weird thing, and then you're like, it mustn't be a good idea. And so the tragedy of this is, and the reason that I'm doing this video is that our human beings and the planet, we lose because this really innovative and powerful idea, we veto it often at that point. It's like, oh, well, my girlfriend didn't like it, or my boyfriend didn't, my boss didn't like it, or my significant other, my family doesn't like the idea of this because they're, and then maybe they're in their comfort zone. You have a new idea for something the family to do, and they're like, no, I don't want to do it. The kids are like, no, that sucks. That doesn't seem cool at all. Well, it might end up being the best thing the family's done for years. So the tragedy here is this new innovative idea and truth and your expression, your authentic expression, you veto it based on, not getting the feedback. Not people are like, saying, oh, Mike, that's such a good idea. Awesome. Let's do that. When they don't do that, instead, they're like, they might be judging it or criticizing it, or there may be fear in their eyes. Literally, that might be like, I see there's fear in their eyes because your idea is outside the box to them, and they don't know, and then they don't know where to put it, and so then they need to put it in a box, and usually often the box is, I don't know. Or I don't know, I'm not ready to accept that yet, And the best ideas are like, that's the way they are. And so you can just let them have that, maybe, possibly. So, that's so you're there, you're offering your truth, okay? And then they're like, you're getting feedback. So what's the solution? Okay. The solution is, it's inevitable. When you offer your truth and you offer your authentic expression, in other words, you are authentic and real and you speak your truth, and even if it might be one of those the emperor has no clothes kind of ideas. Well, the way it seems kind of like this to me. It might be in a business meeting at work. It's like, well, do we really know that for sure? I mean, it seems kind of like this. and everyone kind of looks at you. Okay, so we offer this idea, and the solution is you do notice how they take it. Okay, that's inevitable, right? I mean, I'm not going to ask you to disregard that look on their face or the look in their eyes. That's not realistic. Okay, but you just notice it. Okay, you are not like, we're not attaching to it. We're not, see, when we say it, here's the problem, is we say it, we're like looking for approval because we don't believe it ourselves yet. So the challenge is, it's the intention when we say it. We say it, is this a good idea? Or does this seem crazy to you? And then they do it. See, that's the problem. The solution is we offer it, and we don't offer it as a question. We offer it as like, yeah, this is how I see it, is what some of the Native Americans say, like, this is how I see it. Like, this is my idea. And we say it's strong, and we pull up some trust and some confidence, and we say it, and then we watch how they respond. Okay, and we do get feedback, but it's not like this negative feedback loop like the pattern that I described earlier. It's more like, okay, they don't really like my new idea. Okay, so then it's like, okay, so let's go back to the well. And what I mean by that is, let's go back inside and ask ourselves some really important inquiry questions. Okay, so where did that idea come from? Was I speaking my truth? Did that come from my gut? Is that an authentic expression of my true nature? Is that an idea? Did that come from my intuition? Is that my call for action? I've called this. We allow energy in, and we allow that thing to go into our heart and into our gut and to ignite, and then we have this idea, and it's our call for action. Did that come from that place? And if it did, then allow that to be the evaluation. And both are true. Like, they've got a deer in the headlights. Look, they're whatever. But I'm going back to the well. It's like, this came from a good place, damn it. And this just seems right to me. And stick with it. Don't bail on yourself. Don't bail on your innovative idea. Stick with it and realize, it's like, apparently this is possibly such a good idea that people aren't able to embrace it right away. And then you allow them to have it. You allow your friends, your significant other, your family, your coworkers, you allow them to have your new idea, and you allow them to have their response to it. And you allow them to have their judgment and their criticism and their fear, and you allow the gift that you offered them, you allow it to do its thing, to kind of have its process. You allow it to have its healing process. And that might be, I think that idea is terrible. It's like, oh, okay. Well, John doesn't like it. What do you think? And you allow them to have it. And what you may find is, in time, they may come around, or they may not, but that's okay, because you were in your integrity. You offered your truth. You didn't edit it. You didn't bail on it. You offered your natural gift, is what I used to call it when I wrote a book on the subject. You offer your expression and how you see it and your truth, and then you allow them to have it. And when they don't like it, you go back to the well and you stick. It's like, no, damn it, I'm sticking with this. So anyway, that is my video for this week. And I guess what I would have a great week. As we go into December here, I hope you enjoy your week, and just maybe check this out. Like, don't take my word for it, but just notice when you're vulnerable and when you have an original idea or you speak your truth, notice what you do. Do you look into people's eyes to tell you that it's okay? And how does that work? And then what do you do if they don't like it? Do you edit it? Does it get cut? or do you stick with it, go back to your well? So anyway, that is my video. I will see you in a week.